Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Elle. I am a lifestyle, interiors and DIY blogger and YouTuber, and today I am leaning more towards the lifestyle side of my content that I create, and I am going to show you how to bake an apple pie. So I really enjoy baking. It's one of my favourite things to do. I can cook, I just choose not to cook most of the time. I find it really boring and tedious, but baking I absolutely love to do. I love to put some good music on, grab a hot drink of choice and just really kind of, have my little me time in the kitchen, just really kind of, getting into the baking side of things and just have a really relaxing self-care moment. Today I'm going to show you how to do a apple pie. I'm doing mine with a little bit of a twist though in terms of how I'm decorating it. So I do hope you guys enjoy my method of doing stuff. If you prefer a more written down recipe, the recipe for this will be on my blog, which I will link down below, so you can kind of follow that in your own time. But if you just want to enjoy watching someone cook, you can watch this video. So for this recipe, you're going to need a few things, but it's fairly simple and really kind of easy to follow and understand. First thing you're going to need is apples. So I have Granny Smith's. I love a Granny Smith apple. I like the tartness of the green apple. Now, depending on what pie dish you go for is how many apples you're going to have. I have a 20cm pie dish. There's only 2 of us in the house. So I didn't think they need to get like a huge one, but this one would serve what, 4 people? 6 at a push if you had tiny slices. If you were to go for a bigger one, say a 27 or 30cm pie dish, you're probably looking at maybe more to the 6 to 8 apple ratio. For this, I think we will have 4 would be perfect, more than enough for this recipe. With everything else, you're going to need also flour and brown sugar for the filling along with the apples. You're going to need spices of choice. I've gone with cinnamon, but you can also add in clove or nutmeg or anything like that. You are going to want to add your sweeteners, which could be something like vanilla extract. We don't have it in the house, who knew? So I've gone with this syrup, which is hazelnut flavour, and this is what I have in my coffee. It's what I've got in my coffee right now. I absolutely love it, and I just thought maybe a bit of a nuttiness in there will be perfect for this pie. Of course, with pie you're going to need pastry for the crust. I have gone for ready-made short crust pastry, or rough pastry I believe it's called in other countries. I will have all the recipe written down like I said on my blog. I have gone for it ready-made because I can't be bothered to make pastry. If you want to go more homemade, by all means go search someone else for a pastry recipe, but you can't be ready rolled. I have 2 because of what I'm going to be doing with the crust, but you may want to go for 3 if you're going for a bigger pie dish. And the reason why I've gone for more crust is because I'm not going to do a simple topping. I'm going to have some fun with it. These are my autumnal cookie cutters. See, told you I love baking. I have so many of these for different seasons, different themes, everything like that. I normally make sugar cookies with these during the autumnal times, but I decided to use these to cut out crust and create a leaf effect on my pie. So I'm so excited to try this out. I'm honestly, it's gonna look so cool. I already know it's gonna look cool. The only other thing that I've got here is apple cider vinegar. You can use lemon juice, and that's purely for when you've cut the apples. You can just obviously make sure they don't go brown whilst you're doing everything else. So let's get started on this recipe and let's bake some apple pie. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is preheat your oven to 180 or 200 degrees Celsius or 375 Fahrenheit if you are elsewhere in the world. Next thing you need to do is grab a bowl for your apples once you start cutting them. Okay, here we go. So I've got my bowl here. Okay, so all you're going to want to do is peel, cork and cut your apples up into slices. I just use a knife to do this because I'm lazy that way. But you want to go for thin chunks in your apple. You don't want anything too chunky, and you want to get as even as possible, otherwise it's not going to cook down enough in time, and you're going to have some hard bits and you're going to have some really soft bits. So just make sure you get an evenness to your slices. Now, if you want to be really fancy and have it so it's visibly like the shape of an apple slice, you may spend time doing that with the peeling and whatnot, but I'm just going for a rough chop because quite frankly no one's really good at seeing if they're not perfect, semicircles and whatnot. Can I just say right now I'm living like my Martha Stewart moment and I'm absolutely thriving. It is a shame right now I cannot play music because of copyright issues, so just imagine some gentle jazz in the background. There's Sam Cooke, that is normally what I listen to when I'm cooking or cleaning. Okay, so I'm just on to my second apple now in terms of cutting. I definitely don't have enough filling, so I definitely think this is going to be a 4 apple situation, maybe even a 5. Oh, hello! Do you want a bit of apple? Is that what you're here for? Okay, come here, sit. Have a bit of apple. Go on, run away with it. Run away. Okay, let me just wash my hand 1 second. How are you doing, babe? Do you have any critiques?
I use a bigger knife, but...
Okay, but you have big hands, I have small little hands.
Let's be honest, the handles are the same size.
Yeah, but I feel like I have more control with a smaller knife.
You really don't. Oh no, I've got a critique actually.
Oh god, what?
We have a peeler and a corer.
Okay, I can't use a peeler. You know I can't use a peeler.
You want to see so much apple there?
I know, but I can't use a peeler.
So don't be fitting. You got one.
Peelers are... Okay, look, I can't use a peeler being a lefty, okay? They don't work for lefty people. Comment down below if you're a lefty and you also struggle with things like peelers, because honestly, people have tried to teach me how to use one and I just can't. Hence why I don't use a peeler, I just chop this way, because it's too much frustration. Have you never seen me peel potatoes, like mash and stuff?
I didn't know you cook.
That's a lie, you've seen me cook. Honestly, we have chaos in the kitchen right now. Okay, we're getting there with some apples. I think, yeah, 4 apples will be perfect for this. Okay, what's your question?
What is your favourite thing about the air fryer?
Oh, the air fryer in the background.
Yeah. Do you rate it?
Yeah, I rate the air fryer.
Do you think that Susie should be using soap because an air fryer is only?
I think the way the kitchen is changing will definitely happen, but like, it depends, I think. From a design point of view, I do see kitchens changing. I see people having more show kitchens, kind of like what they're doing in America at the moment.
Right.
Which is where they have show kitchens and then you have more of your pantry which has like ovens in it and stuff, and that's where more of the messy prep is done and where people have like a lot of appliance garages and whatnot. I see that trend coming over here. Obviously the difference is that they pretty much always build their homes.
Right.
And we have to just kind of adapt and like, where could you put a pre-kitchen in this house? But I do see something similar coming to the UK very, very soon in terms of design. Anywho, I'm taking a drink now break because I am done. I'm just going to put on a, would you say teaspoon or tablespoon of apple cider vinegar?
Tablespoon.
Tablespoon. Okay, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to stop the apples going brown. There we go, thank you, Lee. And then we'll move on to the dry ingredients portion. Okay, so just putting the apples to one side there and then grabbing another bowl for the dry ingredients. So, I can move the display apples from one side, 1 second. Okay, so dry ingredients. Pretty simple with this. The main thing is going to be the sugar for the sweetness. You are going to want, where are my measuring cups? There they are. Okay, so for the sugar, you're going to want either 1/2 cup or 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar to go with it. It depends on how sweet you want it. I'm going to go for 1/2 cup of sugar. I know traditionally in the UK we do not work in cup sizes. This is more of an American thing, but quite honestly, they have got it right in this sense because it is so much easier to do it with 1/2 cups and whatnot, and then grams and everything like that. There we go. You're then going to want 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. No need to stir, just a bit of heat there. And then spice-wise, you're going to want to do about 1/4 per spice of what you're going to use. So if you're going to do, say, nutmeg and cinnamon, you're going to probably want to do 1/4 of each. This, I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, just because it is like the only spice I'm adding in here, and I'm being really rough with the measurements. But there we go. I'm going to give that a quick stir just combined. Oh, it smells incredible. I love cinnamon. Okay. And then you're just gonna do a bit of a quick cleanup of everything. So I'm just gonna move these out of the way. Okay, so you're gonna wanna grab your apples, and then you're just gonna wanna pour your dry ingredients into this bowl. Put that out to one side. Take your tablespoon and just mix it all together. Just make sure you get everything nice and coated. And then to top it all off, you're going to want to get your vanilla essence or hazelnut syrup, as I'm doing in this case. I would say about a teaspoon of each. I'm just going to rough it. You have to. And then once again, mix it all together. And then you're going to want to put that to one side and you're going to focus on your pie. Okay, so pastry time. What I'm going to do is quickly just spray this with some olive oil. This is just going to make sure that nothing sticks to it. Once we're done, you can obviously use a bit of butter, just rub it around. You just want to make sure nothing is sticking too much to it when it comes to the pastry. You're going to take your pastry and you're going to roll it out. And then on to your pie dish. And just very slowly press it into the dish. Just slow and steady wins the race, not takes the race. And you're just going to want to make sure you're just smoothing it up to the edges. Not pulling on the dough too much, otherwise you're going to rip it. And just be careful with your nails so that you don't make any marks. It's okay if it overlaps a little bit, that's kind of part of the homemade charm. So the dog is now deciding to take a drink. While the dog is drinking, I'm just going to cut the pastry excess off. I'm going to leave obviously the crust bit there. So I'm just going to go from the edge of the tart and around. And I'm going to try and keep the pastry as whole as possible for the next fun part, which is where we're going to cut out the shapes. So I'm just going to fold this to one side on here. That is the pie perfection. I am just going to grab a quick fork, just do some marks. I can't remember exactly what this does. Lee, why do you fork pastry? That sounds wrong.
That's the air out, otherwise it will just explode.
There we go, that's why you do that. And then you're going to just want to put your mixture into the pie. I would say actually one way you could maybe mix up this recipe, and certainly one I'm going to try in the future, is I saw something, I think it was in the Magnolia cookbook with Joanna Gaines, in which she used, is it dulce leche?
Dulce leche.
Dulce leche. Caramel, is it caramel? Just really posh caramel?
Yeah, but I don't agree with it.
Oh, okay, you don't agree with it. What I'm doing now is just gently pressing down the pieces so that it's not too much ballooned up and it's one equal level for when we're putting on the pie topping and the crust. Now I need to wash my hands. Okay, now I can just move everything out of the way and concentrate on the fun bit. I'm so excited for this bit. Okay, so to begin with, the leftover bit of your crust, this is why I said to get extra, because of, obviously we have a massive cut in the middle. I'm just going to move this bit of pastry over here. But using this, I'm going to cut out some toppings and create some leaf patterns on top of this crust. I'm so excited for this. So I'm going to try maple leaf first, I've decided. Obviously, try and get as close to the edge as possible so you can serve in as much dough. Oh my god, it's so cute! Oh my god! It's so cute! Oh my my god, I'm too excited for this. This is amazing. Oh, I'm in my own world now. Oh, you're coming in. You're coming in to see. Because why have a boring pastry topping when you can create leaves with it?
Question.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be better to put a cover on it and then, oh, I see what you're doing. You're going to do like a whole topping of that?
Yes.
Me personally, what I do is rather than doing what you're doing now.
You're getting into shot here, what?
I know. So I would do a leaf at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then overlap, so then it makes more, rather than it's just going to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And then do you want to 1, 4, 7, 11.
Okay, fair deals. What I'm doing just now is taking that excess pastry and just mushing it together and rolling it out with my rolling pin, just so I'm not wasting pastry.
Can I do one?
You want to do one?
It looks satisfying as hell.
Okay, let me just... Okay, you can cut this one out. Come on. But you have to say hello to your adoring fans. Oh my god, you're so tall! You can't fit on the camera. See, isn't this better than just making a boring crust?
And now watch as she reorganises it. Yeah, there it is.
I'm actually looking at the dough that I have available and looking at how much I'm covering, and to be fair, I could go all out with covering it with as many leaves as possible, but I'm actually thinking that one packet of short crust pastry will be enough at this point.
You didn't want to get free.
I didn't want to go free, I wanted to just go for it. So as you can see, you don't have to worry about making a steam hole or anything for this pie because of the natural gaps in the pastry that you're creating. We'll do that for you. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. Okay, it looks incredible. I'm so happy with this. I do want to rearrange this a little bit though and have to play around with the layout and everything like that. So once I'm happy with the layout, obviously you will just want to brush this with some egg wash just to make sure it goes nice and crispy, and then place it into your oven at, like I said, 180 to 200 degrees for about 30 or 40 minutes until the crust is nice and golden and you can see some of the mixture is bubbling, so you know that it's nice and hot and cooked through. So I'm going to do that bit and I'll come back to you when it's ready. Okay, it has been 40 minutes. That's exactly what time we needed in order to cook this delicious apple pie. Are you ready to see the final results? So lifting it up and obviously going to give you some close-ups. Oh my god, it looks incredible. It looks so pretty. I'm so happy with it. The ultimate test though is going to be how it tastes. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of filling, a little bit of crust and go from there. Oh my god, it's so good. If I do show my shop. I do hope you enjoyed this different style of video. I have so much fun baking and it was so much fun making this video, and yeah, absolutely thoroughly loved it. As I've mentioned, the full recipe, the complete recipe now that I have created this, will be on my blog, so do go click on the link in the description box down below. If there's anything else you'd like me to bake or do let me know in the comments below. I'm planning a whole lot of Christmassy content, and of course there'll be some Christmassy cooking happening, so let me know your suggestions now and I will make sure to add them to the planner. If you're not already subscribed, why not? Do hit that subscribe button, come join the family. We would love to have you here. And yeah, like, rate, subscribe and all that. I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a lovely rest of your week. Bye.